Welcome to the Driven Agenda podcast, episode number 1, with my favorite people of all time, my family, my wife, Jessica,
Hello.
Noah,
Hello.
and Avel.
Hi.
So welcome.
Thanks for having us.
I wanted to start this podcast off with talking about things that you guys like and things that inspire you. The name of the podcast is called The Driven Agenda. Do you know what it means to be driven, Avel?
No.
What do you think it is? You ever
Maybe
hear the word
like,
driven?
inspired.
There you go. So what we're going to be doing on this podcast is interviewing people that are really successful in things that they do, whether it's their career or their sports or things they're passionate about. And so that's the whole purpose of this podcast. We're not really going to be doing any kind of law-related stuff for the most part, but we're just going to be interviewing a lot of really cool people. So I wanted to have you guys on first. So when we go live soon, that you guys are going to be the first ones. So, Jessica.
Yes.
Got questions here.
Okay.
One of the things I love about you is when I met you, you were a runner and you loved running and still love running. You just don't have the time to do it as much. But how did you first get into running and competitive running?
I had a friend that was an avid runner. She ran marathons, half marathons, and I thought that was just so awesome. Not only to stay fit, but what an accomplishment to say that you had completed a half marathon or a marathon. I found it very inspiring.
And you got hooked ever since?
Yeah. I signed up immediately. I hadn't run a 5K, and I signed up for the Disney Princess half marathon, and I trained in the summer in Florida. It was hot as could be, but then I went up there to Orlando and I finished the Disney Princess half.
What, excuse me, what does running teach you about discipline? How do you get the discipline to do something that hard?
Well, if you register for it, you know you want to complete it. So then you have a goal in mind and you have to do the training or you will really suffer on the race day. So I knew I wanted to complete the half and it was a huge goal for me. And I just pushed myself to go out there, follow the training plan, and get out there and complete those long runs. I knew I had to do it. If I wanted to reach the goal, I had to do the training.
Any particular moment in any race that you did where you felt super proud or something that's extra memorable?
Yeah, I ran the Chicago full marathon, and that's one of my greatest accomplishments. I can't tell you how emotional it was crossing that finish line. You wanted to laugh, you wanted to cry, you just wanted to drop to the ground. And I kept thinking, like, there's only 1% of the people that have completed a full marathon. And how cool was it that I was doing that?
What do you need to do to train for a full marathon, and how far back do you have to start that process?
Oh, you have to start months ahead of time. I had Googled all sorts of different training plans, and I kind of found one that worked for me. Working Monday through Friday, I needed to complete the long runs on Saturday. The best thing for me to do in Florida was to wake up super early, like 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, and complete those long runs because you run over 20 miles before you hit the race. So I knew I had to get up early to get it done before it was super hot outside. There's groups that run, like local to us. I found a group and I would meet up with them on Saturday mornings. It's always inspiring to run with a group of people. You kind of push yourself harder. You run faster when you see other people. It's motivating. And when you find a group, they set up water stops for you. And, at least you're not alone, especially when you're running first thing in the morning like that. You don't want to be out there alone. It's dark. You want to be safe.
Scary.
Yeah, you want to be safe. Definitely important.
Any plans to run another marathon or half a marathon in your head?
No, right now I'm sticking with the 5Ks. They're just easier to complete, and I have more time to train. It's much easier for me to get out there and know I can run 3 miles versus 13.1, and it's easier on your body after running so many. I definitely feel it when I hit the half marathon mark.
I'm sure. I would have no idea about that stuff. All right. Noah, how old are you?
6.
What grade are you in?
First,
What's your teacher's name?
Miss Tringali.
You like her?
Yes.
I do too. She's awesome. What are some things that you like to do that you think are fun?
VR.
Yeah, what's VR?
The game that me and my brother play.
Yeah, the Oculus.
Mm-hmm.
Which game do you play on there?
Gorilla Tag.
Mm-hmm. You play baseball, right?
Yes.
What position is your favorite?
First base.
And why do you like baseball so much?
Because when you hit the ball, you get a trophy.
Okay. You get a trophy every time you hit?
The ball is a trophy.
Oh, okay. Like, you mean you get the game ball sometimes
Yeah.
as a trophy?
Yeah.
What people don't know about Noah other than us is when he is in the house or anywhere specifically, he runs everywhere he goes. He runs, jumps, skips. If he's got to go to the bathroom, he literally sprints. He's the only one in our house that that's as active as you can be, right? Everything you do is 110%, which is why you're so tired at like 6:30 at night, right?
Mm-hmm.
Avel, fishing.
Yeah.
I noticed it's been your new passion for what, probably 6 months now?
Yeah.
How'd you get into it?
I like watching YouTube, and one day I stumbled across a video of someone fishing, and it was them giving reasons why they fish, and I thought it was really cool and that I should get back into it.
Where do you typically fish?
Uh, in our neighborhood, right across the street, there's a small lake.
So like the lakes and the canals,
Yeah.
mostly freshwater.
Mm-hmm.
What is the biggest fish you've ever, excuse me, what's the biggest fish you've ever caught so far?
A gar. I didn't weigh it, but it was probably about like a foot or 2.
Oh, you don't know how many pounds it was?
No.
But it was bigger than any of those bass I've
Yeah.
seen you catch? Didn't you go saltwater fishing recently?
Oh, yeah.
What'd you
Like
catch?
a small snapper. It wasn't that big.
Oh, okay. Um, how do you decide what places to fish?
There's not really a right or wrong answer for that. You just pick whatever you want.
Stop moving. Stop moving around. I can hear you.
I'm trying to move the cable.
So there's no, you just, whatever lake you find, you want to fish it? Any plans to go saltwater fishing
Yeah, maybe the Keys.
with Uncle Josh and Aunt Tiffy? Yeah, we need to get that going. What makes you excited about fishing? Why do you love it so much?
It's like a getaway from everything. You don't have to think about anything. You just fish.
I like that. We all need to get away. Any life lessons that you've learned since you've been fishing so much?
You have to
What
be
does it teach
patient.
you? That's what I was looking for. Patience, right? You got to have a lot of patience because sometimes most of the time when we fish, we catch something. But there's been 1 or 2 times where we were out there for like an hour and we don't catch anything, right, Noe?
Mm-hmm.
And so we just have to be patient. And most of the time we catch a fish, sometimes we don't. And that's just how that works.
Yep.
Jessica, You are a CT tech at Boca Regional Hospital, and you've been there and in that same position for at least 17 years, correct?
Yes.
How did you get into that field, and why? Um, why?
I always knew I wanted to do something in the medical field. I just wasn't sure what. I had friends in dental hygiene programs, and I kind of started researching to see what was offered at the college near us. I stumbled upon radiology, and at the time, they made you go and work an 8-hour observation shift and see what the field was all about to see if it was a good fit for you. I had gone to Palms West Hospital and observed for the day, and I just fell in love with it. It felt like Christmas morning to me. I was excited about it. Some of the exams that the techs were performing I thought were super cool, and I knew I wanted to do it.
And you get up usually before 5 in the morning to go to work.
Yes.
Has that been your hours ever since you've had this career, pretty much?
Pretty much I've always worked during the day, but I've working in the hospital, I've worked all different shifts, overnights, weekends, into the evening, but I prefer the morning shift. We tend to do more of the complicated, complex stuff during the day, and I really enjoy the challenge.
Noah, who's your friend there?
Sprinkles.
Yeah, what Sprinkles the elf?
Mm-hmm.
You brought him with us. This is like the first time he's gone on a trip with us.
Mm-hmm.
You want to ask him a question?
Yeah.
What kind of question do you want to ask him? See if he'll talk.
Mm-hmm.
Um, how do you handle, Jess, how do you handle the pressure of being one of the lead technicians and dealing with difficult situations and often difficult patients?
Um, Being the lead can be challenging because a whole team of people are relying on me even when I'm not there. So I have been lucky to work under good leadership who has always been there for me. I feel like I only reach out to my boss when he's not at work if there's a real emergency. And I think it's important to give that back to the staff. I know that when you're taking care of people and equipment malfunctions or, power flickers and you're in that kind of panic mode, that it's important to have someone that you can reach out to kind of guide you. And I always do that for the staff. Um, but as far as challenging people, you just have to remember that they're in a very uncomfortable situation. No one wants to be in the hospital. They're stressed, they're nervous, they're scared. And I just try to treat people with compassion and remember a time where, you know, you either know someone or you yourself may have been in the hospital and you know how scary that is. And you try to just, put yourself in that position and remember how it felt so you can treat the patient with some compassion, even when they can be rude or short with you. It's not necessarily towards you, it's just towards the situation that they're in.
It's a good attitude to have. So you get up for almost 2 decades now, 5 sometimes before, to go to work every day. You've been doing that forever. Same job, same place. You've never left anywhere else for your career. You are under stressful situations every day. And like I said, stressful people. What advice do you give to someone who's maybe starting their career, whether they're in the medical field or not, to have that kind of drive that you do? Because I'll tell you that I have never gotten up at 5 in the morning for those many years. I don't know I would have the motivation to do that. Um, but what advice do you have for someone who's like, I'm not sure what I want to do. I don't have the drive. I don't have the motivation to do certain things. For you to stay at one job for that long, to get up that early every morning, and then to deal with the stress every day, it takes a lot.
I would say you just really have to find something that you love doing. I really enjoy my career. I really enjoy some of the people that I work with. And I just, in my heart, I know that I am where I belong. I love helping people. I know, sometimes the job is really stressful and challenging, and I just know that I'm making an impact. I'm there for a reason, but I truly believe to be able to wake up this early and get there and do the job, it's because I love it. I can't imagine leaving and working somewhere else under the rads, the doctors that I work with. They're incredible. They've taught me so much, and I trust them, and I trust, for me, I trust the healthcare system, and I just really feel like you have to love it. Like, I love my job. That motivates me to get up
Yeah,
every day.
you have to. Noe, you've been doing kickboxing and jujitsu for probably about 6 months now, right?
I don't know.
Longer, almost a year.
Oh, really?
Mhm.
Gosh, time flies. So, how do you like it?
Because on Fridays you get to play in Fortnite.
Well, let's talk about jujitsu and kickboxing, though.
What do you like it?
Which one do you like better? Do you like kickboxing better, or do you like jujitsu where you're wrestling?
Kickboxing.
Why?
Because I take my friend down.
I thought that jujitsu is where you take people down, and then kickboxing is where you punch and kick.
Yeah.
Okay. So do you kickbox and then you do jujitsu, or how does it work?
Sometimes I don't know. Sometimes we mostly do kickboxing.
Okay. Do you ever think that you will do a kickboxing fight against somebody else one day when you're older?
Yeah,
Why? How do you know?
because when you grow bigger, you get to.
Okay. Is that something you would think you would want to do, is have a fight against someone in the kickboxing ring?
I think so.
Okay. I think you could do it.
You're strong.
Yeah, you're strong and you're pretty crazy sometimes when you need to be. I can see you doing that. For anybody who doesn't know about martial arts, I've been involved in it in and out for well over a decade. And I've always told parents that sometimes traditional sports like soccer, football, baseball, they're not for some people. And some of the kids I've seen over the years really gravitate towards martial arts. And even if they do love traditional sports, I think every single kid needs to take at least a year of some type of martial arts for multiple reasons: discipline, self-respect. If you got a good coach at the martial arts gym, they're going to instill all those things. And then also very important, especially because Avel tells me every week there's some kind of fight at his middle school, self-defense. I think every kid needs to learn the basics of self-defense. God forbid they're put in a position of having to fight somebody. And when I was younger, before I took kickboxing and Muay Thai, I thought I knew how to fight somebody, and then I didn't know how bad I was until I had my very first class, and I didn't even know what a cross was, what a jab, knew a jab, or how to do those things. So you don't really realize what you don't know until you start training in that stuff. So Noe's goes to kickboxing and jujitsu every day after school, and he takes various classes. And Daddy is going to join very soon. I took my first kickboxing and Muay Thai class 2 weeks ago and loved it. And as soon as we are done with sorry about that, holiday stuff, I'm gonna get back into it after being off for 6 years, sadly. Avel, speaking of baseball, that is your passion right now, right?
Yeah.
Why?
I like being competitive, and I like how every year the teams get mixed up, so I get a chance to beat my friends.
Beating your friends? Nice. How important is winning to you?
Um, I like winning. It's a good feel, but when you lose, you like you can see your mistakes and you grow. When you win, you don't really get better. When you lose, you can see your mistakes and then get better.
So you're saying that the times you lose, you're learning from
Yeah.
whatever mistakes you make. You and Noah have been fortunate because you have both won championships. I think you've won 3 of L already, since doing baseball. And Noah, you won 1, and then you've been in a couple championships. That's pretty impressive at West Boynton, because I know of some of my friends' kids have never won a championship yet, and they've been on so many teams. So you guys are pretty lucky. I don't know how much you realize that, but you're pretty lucky to be able to have not just 1 championship, but for Avel, you've had 3. And my most favorite one so far was on the orange team with Coach Tony. So I liked your answer. That's what I was looking for, is, when we lose, because you've lost pretty bad too on some teams, you're learning lessons, and you realize that winning is important, but it's not always going to happen in life, right?
Yeah.
What's your favorite position that you play?
Pitcher.
Why?
Because the pitcher gets to control some of the game. It's on like their speed. If they don't pitch, the game doesn't go.
And for people that don't know, Avel is lefty, so lefty pitchers are kind of sought after, which is why his coaches also put him in first base, because he's lefty as well. So I assume that's your second favorite position?
Yep.
Yeah. So he's got a pretty good pitch, a little bit sidearm kind of thing. At first we were trying to convince him not to do it, but it seems to be his natural style. It seems to be how he strikes kids out. He's still learning. We're going to be doing some lessons actually on Monday with the coach, but he's had some some episodes where he's struck 3, 4, 5 kids out in a row, if not more. And when he's on a roll, he really gets on a roll. It's impressive to watch. And then sometimes he just falls apart, but he handles it well. It's a lot of pressure. You've got 100 probably people staring at you between the 2 teams, and then everyone in the stands. And when you mess up and keep throwing balls or throwing it past the umpire, you got to really figure out how to control yourself and put your mind to it, right? How is it different being a left-handed pitcher, you think, as far as like pitching and doing um versus a right-handed pitcher?
It's harder and easier at the same time. It's harder because less coaches know how to train lefties and show them how to pitch, but it's easier because lots of batters aren't used to seeing lefty pitchers, and they don't really understand where it's going to go.
Interesting. So you got to have someone who knows how to deal with a left-handed pitcher.
Yeah.
How do you handle being nervous? So I guess, like, when you're up on the pitcher's mound.
I usually close my eyes and take a few deep breaths. That kind of like restarts me.
Okay. Is there any particular thing you're saying to yourself or doing?
I usually play like a song in my head, or
What, to like kind of distract yourself?
yeah.
Cool. For those of you that don't know Noah, he does things differently, and it's funny. Like when he eats tacos, he will eat them like sideways instead of people eat them from the one end to the other, right? Or I don't know if you still do this, but when Papa used to watch you, you would take your cheeseburger.
And then open it.
Tell everyone what you would do.
I would open it and then take the pickle and then eat it and then eat the cheese and
Eat the cheese off the bread first, right?
yeah,
And then eat the hamburger.
and then the other thing and then the bread.
It's so funny, the creative. What else does he do, Jess, that is just completely different than other kids? And at first we were like, no, you don't do it that way. And then we just realized, no, that's Noah's way. That's how he does it. But I never thought of eating a taco from side to side.
Like corn on the cob.
What does he do? Oh, yeah, he eats a taco like a corn on the cob. What else does he do, though, that's different that we love?
Oh, man.
I can't think of any the other things. But
On the VR, Avel can climb the walls.
well, I'm talking about you, though. What do you do? There's things that you other funny things. Well, if you think of any, just let me know. But Noah always is known for doing things differently. He hangs upside
Making
down.
funny faces.
Yeah, you do that. You also watch TV upside down sometimes on the couch.
I roll over on the couch.
You roll over upside down, and I've seen you watch TV upside down before.
And hangs on that trampoline bar. I watches TV.
Yeah. He's super active. He's funny. Noah, are there any other sports that you would like to try?
No,
Football, soccer, tennis? No?
nope.
Okay.
I mean tennis.
I thought you wanted to try soccer at one point, no?
No.
You just want to keep doing baseball and jiu-jitsu and kickboxing?
Yeah.
Yeah? Cool. Jess, how do you balance the demands of work? Now, you've been working out a lot again lately, and then being a mom, and then being a wife.
I don't think anyone is succeeding in doing all of those things. Something is always on the back burner, but it does require a lot of help to be able to accomplish everything. I mean, you always help me out now that I'm trying to prioritize working out again. You're helping take some of the pressure off me with Noah so that I can have some time to myself. Um, there's no good way to balance it all. You either have to wake up early or stay up late and try to squeeze some time in for yourself and make it work. I try to go on a walk at lunchtime to just get some steps in and prioritize a workout that way where, most people are taking that time to watch a show or use their phone. I'm trying to use that time to get my little bit of a workout in. Um, just trying to we're all in survival mode, especially now with the holidays. It's not easy balancing it all. I mean, obviously you have to go to work every day if you want to stay in a full-time position, especially in a leadership role. Um, I think everyone just tries to do their best and lots of coffee. Coffee helps.
I do know Jessica's job is pretty much standing and walking all day, so she averages, I think, 5 miles
Yeah.
just at work,
Usually.
and then does her walk as well. It's pretty crazy. That's what I need because I sit all day, complete opposite type job. So what lessons do you hope Noah and Avel learn from watching you with your dedication to getting up early, going to work, exercising, and being a good mom to them?
I hope that they know how important it is to be responsible, to show up every day, especially when you have people relying on you. And I hope they do take care of their bodies and either play a sport or continue with the martial arts classes or, prioritize working out. It might look like going to a gym for them. It might look like home workouts like it is for me. Um, but I think it's important that they understand that they need to take care of themselves, and it's a good stress reliever. Part of the running, I would have that time to kind of think, whereas you don't really just sit at home and take time to think. You're always doing a task, or you're watching TV, or you're reading a book, or you're doing something where your mind is busy. But running was a good way to clear my head. If there was something bothering me, you kind of can think it through in your head as you're exercising. So I hope that they always prioritize that their mental health, as well as their physical health. And I hope that they are motivated, to find a job that they are passionate about and to show up for it and show up for their team, show up for themselves.
Cool. Val, when you would grow up, what do you want to do right now? I know it changes and it will probably change, but is there something in particular you want to do?
I'm not really sure.
And you're leaning towards?
Right. All I can think of right now is maybe a baseball player.
Okay. Noe, do you know what you want to be when you grow up? I think you've been consistent with this for a little while. What?
I don't know.
Yes, you do.
Yeah.
You always
Tell
want
us
to
all
be.
the time.
True.
Firefighter.
Firefighter? I thought you
Okay.
said police
Police.
officer.
It's usually a police officer.
Which one?
Switching it up.
Switching it? Today's a firefighter?
Firefighter.
Okay, cool. We have a lot of firefighter friends, right? Some of your friends' dads are firefighters, right?
Yeah.
Avel, do you have a certain person that inspires you, whether they're family, friend, celebrity?
For what? Like
Life.
this life?
Yeah.
Probably forgot his name.
Is it a celebrity or
It was a baseball player. I don't know.
so a professional baseball player
Yeah.
does? Why?
Because they made it through life. They were the first black player in baseball.
Oh, from way
And
back in the day.
yeah, and that they ignored all like the shouting and they followed their dream.
That's cool. Being an 11-year-old, what does being driven mean to you, especially someone who has consistent A's and you score the top in not only your school, but sometimes in state tests? How do you do that? What does it mean to be driven like that?
I think it means like I think of every time, even if I get a good score on a test, I want to do better the next time.
Cool. Noah, if you could do anything you want every day, what would it be? School?
No.
Anything you want, that you could do it every day, what would you do?
VR.
Yeah? Just all day, every day VR?
Yes.
Okay. You're always honest. Is there something new you would like to try?
Nintendo.
Nintendo? Okay. So we're in a big video game kick. Although you would not know it because this morning they spent how long playing without any tablets or
2-3 hours.
2-3 hours with no fighting. And they were super quiet because I woke up late. Late for me is 7 something. But they were up for a while and playing and without tablets and stuff. But of course it's getting on. We just started holiday break. So they'll get a little bit of extra tablet time, but we encourage them to come up with creative ways to play together, puzzles, art. They're very into art and good at it. Tablets are used for certain times and as rewards, but we do notice that sometimes when they're on them too long, they kind of, when we take them off,
Get
kinda,
grumpy.
yeah,
Grumpy
right,
and bicker.
yeah.
Yeah.
So we limit that stuff just like every parent does, but sometimes they need to have it. And again, it's a good reward. Noe, what do you like most about spending time with family and your brother and me and mommy?
Going in the pool all together and riding our bikes as a family.
Awesome. I love that too. That's one of my favorites as well.
And walking the dog.
Okay. Do you know what does being driven mean to you? Driven means being inspired by something, or like mommy, she does, gets up every morning and goes to work.
I don't know.
No.
Driven is working hard for a goal.
Is there a certain goal that you work hard for every day?
Trying to climb the walls on Gorilla Tag so I get better. And I was trying to spawn Lucy.
Okay.
And trying to get out. But I couldn't. And then I tried. And I tried. And then I got out.
Nice. For those of you who have kids, there's the virtual reality Oculus game. We let them use it. And what's at least good about this one game they play, it's called Gorilla Tag, is in order for them to move, they have to swing their arms as hard as possible. Show up. Do it again. So you're literally almost like you have to swim. You have to move your arms, right, Avel?
When you swim, you have to like.
It's the same exact
So
thing.
when they're done doing it, they're at least have some calories in and they're sweating versus, like a video game where you're just sitting there staring at the screen. They actually are moving around, and they can only move in Gorilla Tag by doing this motion the entire time. It's very hard, actually. But again, that's why we say Noah's the only one in the house with a six-pack, because
Never stops moving.
never stops moving, ever. And he plays hard, very hard. Gets up at 6, sometimes before that. And you're nonstop till what time? When do we put him to bed? 7:30 latest?
Depends on.
Something.
7:30.
Oh, I thought it was a 6.
But you go hard, 110%, right? He's known, right, Avel?
Yep.
He's another level, this kid here.
Plays hard.
Yeah. Well, anything else you guys want to say before we wrap this up?
Yeah.
What? Forgot?
He just wants to talk.
Did you have fun on this?
Yeah.
I've been wanting to do this for a while, and I'm still learning how to figure out this equipment, but this was a good time, and I can't wait to play this for you guys and hear it.
And we can't wait to see how this grows for you. And you'll have to bring us back and interview us again once.
Absolutely.
you're-
We'll do like a once a year type thing, maybe start of each new year or end of each year, and we talk about our goals and accomplishments.
Yeah.
But for now, we're going to wrap that up because we have Christmas stuff to do. And now that they're on holiday break, as of today, for the next 3 weeks, it's going to be, we got a lot of fun things planned and some surprises as well. So with that being said, thank you guys. I love you guys to death. And thank you for your time. I appreciate that.
We love you.